Everybody, hello everybody. We are in module 5C. Open page 54 with me in Superland. Danger. This is the title of this lesson. Danger. The pictures tell a story. What is the story about? Listen and check. Look at this picture and try to imagine what the story is. Okay? But after reading the story, tell a summary about it. After reading the story, this is the answer. The story is about a camping trip and an accident someone had while swimming. A box jellyfish stung him, so they had to take him to hospital. Luckily, he survived. Luckily, he survived. This is the picture of the box jellyfish which stung this boy. Now listen to this passage. Dangerous Encounters by Jim Aniston. While I was visiting my relatives in Australia last year, we decided to go camping on the beach. Who could expect that this trip would prove to be a real-life thriller? We arrived at a deserted beach early in the morning to set up camp. The sun was shining brightly and it was quite hot. I had never gone camping before, so this was an exciting experience for me. After we had finished pitching the tents, we decided to go for a swim. The water was quite warm. Suddenly, I felt a sharp pain in my leg. I started screaming and lost consciousness. My cousins got me out of the water. They were shocked to see how many times something had stung me. It's a box jellyfish. Its poison is lethal. My aunt shouted. She worked as a doctor and knew what to do. Luckily, she had packed a first aid kit before we left for our trip. Immediately, she gave me the medicine and then they rushed me to the nearest hospital. I left the hospital 2 days later. I was really lucky because the poison of a jellyfish can kill a person in less than 20 minutes if not treated immediately. Even now, I can't believe what happened. I'm just glad I survived. Even now, I can't believe what happened. I'm just glad I survived. Now we read quickly once again to break down the new vocabulary. Dangerous encounters. Encounters here means experience, something that happened to you in the past. While I was visiting my relatives in Australia last year, we decided to go camping on the beach. We say go camping when we go to the beach and build up a tent, to set up a tent to live in. Who could expect that this trip would prove to be a real-life thriller? Real-life thriller means real book or film with real events or story. We arrived at a deserted beach. Deserted refers to the area when the area is deserted means that nobody is there. Deserted beach early in the morning to set up camp. To set up means to prepare something for use. The sun was shining brightly and it was quite hot. I had never gone camping before, so this was an exciting experience for me. After we had finished pitching. To pitch means to put up the tent, okay, for camping. After we have finished pitching the tents, we decided to go for a swim. They went to swim. The water was quite warm. Suddenly, I felt a sharp pain in my leg. I started screaming and lost consciousness. To lose consciousness means to faint. Okay? Means can't feel things around. My cousins got me out of water. They were shocked to see how many times something had stung me. Stung, this is the past of verb sting, means to bite or to wound. It's a box jellyfish. And this is a picture of the box jellyfish. What is the jellyfish? It's a sea creature with a body like jelly and the long thin parts called tentacles that can give a sharp sting. My cousins got me out of the water. They were shocked to see how many times something had stung me. It's a box jellyfish. Its poison is lethal. Lethal means deadly. Something that causes death. Lethal. Like when we say lethal weapon, means a killing weapon. My aunt shouted. She worked as a doctor and knew what to do. Luckily, she had packed a first aid kit. First aid kit. It's like a bag containing some tools, some medical tools for curing somebody. Before we left for our trip, immediately she gave me the medicine and then they rushed me to the nearest hospital. To rush means to hurry up. I left the hospital 2 days later. I was lucky because the poison of a box jellyfish can kill a person in less than 20 minutes if not treated immediately. Even now I can't believe what happened. I'm just glad I survived. To survive means to keep alive. This lesson is about how to write a story or how to tell a story or how to set the scene and the sequence of events. And we will find out that we use the past continuous to set the scene. And we use the past simple and the past perfect to show sequence of events in the past. Here are the settings of the scene. When did this story happen? Last year. Where did it happen? In Australia. How was the weather like? What was the weather like? The sun was shining and it was hot. Who? Me, my cousins, and aunt. Here are the sequence of events. Here is the sequence of events. First, decided to go camping. Next, pitched tents on beach. After that, went for a swim. Got stung by jellyfish. Aunt gave him medicine. Went to hospital and at last left hospital. Skip exercise 3. Go to exercise 4. Read the theory, find examples in Jim's story, then complete the sentences. Here we learn using time connectors. We use while, after, suddenly, 2 days later, then, immediately, etc. All these connectors, we use them to show the sequence of events. This helps the reader follow our story. Let's look. Here are the time connectors. While, after, suddenly, then, immediately, 2 days later, immediately, etc. Okay? Now let's complete the sentences. While Jim was in Australia, he decided to go camping on the beach with his relatives. After they had pitched their tents, they decided to go for a swim. Suddenly, Jim felt a sharp pain in his leg. Immediately, Jim's aunt gave him some medicine. Then they took Jim to the nearest hospital. 2 days later, Jim left the hospital.